Hello everyone, welcome to Cricktake. My name is Hassan Ali and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Sharon. Today's episode is about a legend, an enigma, a team that's almost become mythological to the IPL, Royal Challengers Bangalore. In June 2025, RCB ended their 18-year wait and became champions for the first time in their history. This was their fourth attempt. In the past, they had reached the final in 2009, 2011, and most famously 2016. Their fan base has been unwavering, loyal, but also long-suffering. From memes to collapses, from near misses to total heartbreak, RCB became a symbol of unfulfilled potential, the South Africa of IPL. Much like my own team Liverpool once was a beacon of unfulfilled potential, RCB has been going through a similar time in their history up until this year. Liverpool too were going through a similar time in their history till Jurgen Klopp arrived. But just as Liverpool's long-awaited title this year was marred by tragedy, RCB's moment of triumph too came at a painful cost. A stampede in Bangalore during celebrations took the lives of 11 fans. And before we talk cricket, before we celebrate the win, we want to offer our sincerest condolences to the lives lost and to every person affected by this tragedy. Let it be a reminder that every sporting authority, every city, every league, the joy of the game should never come at the cost of human life. And while we celebrate passion, we must always prioritize safety. So now, from this rather solemn moment, we move forward. This episode will honor RCB's win, explore the layers behind this long-awaited triumph, and unpack how, when, and why it finally all came together. Because this wasn't overnight success. It was 18 years of build-up, breakdown, and belief. And with that, we'll begin. Sharon, are you ready?
I am.
On to our first segment, the throwback, here on the RCB episode. Sharon, RCB's history has seen a lot of ups and downs, changes, strategies, methodologies, ideologies. And they have gone through phases of different coaches and players, ranging from Rahul Dravid to Anil Kumble to the AB de Villiers, Virat Kohli era, of course, Chris Gayle as well. Then in the coaching as well, you had lots of changes. You know, you guys in recent times have had people like Ashish Nehra, Mike Hesson, now more recently Andy Flower. When you look at all these changes, near misses, heartbreaks, incredible individual performances over the seasons, this shift from superstars to now more of a balanced team that ticks all the right boxes rather than just maybe the PR and marketing side. Not that the superstars haven't performed. Your superstars have delivered. It's just that the teams around them could not deliver in cohesion. So my question to you is, when we keep all of these things in mind, it's been one hell of a ride for the people of Bengaluru, the people of Karnataka, as well as the general supporter base of RCB, which I know is not limited to Karnataka. So how did it feel for you, first and foremost, on a personal level? You've been a lifelong fan. For our listeners that don't know, Sharon is born and brought up in Karnataka, so he is a through and through local. And this team does mean a lot to him, and he has been supporting them from day one. So what did it feel for you? Sorry, how did it feel for you? Secondly, how do you think it felt for the greater community, the greater state of Karnataka? And then lastly, the general fan base.
So I should start my answer with the flashlight which has came right after RCB winning the match, right after the last ball. As soon as we saw on the big screen, it was like the wait is over. It says it all. It's been a long wait, starting from 2008. That time I was like a 5th standard, not much into cricket. We used to play regularly, but not much as a fan following. I didn't knew that how a victory feels like. Though I have seen 2007 India winning 2007 T20 World Cup, but I didn't knew what exactly a victory feels like until and unless we won World Cup in 2011. 50-50. That I think I started understanding cricket better. I got more attached to the players, more attached to the team, started following news, the cutouts. We are from that old school era. We used to maintain a register, write down all the matches, venues. Then we used to tick off the boxes every day. Like, oh, this team won, this team won. We used to put up everything.
Mark them on the calendars in the
mark
kitchen.
them on the calendars. Yeah, we are old school boys and we love that doing.
100%.
We even had a scrapbooks. We used to cut out these papers. I had a photo from like Multan of Sultan, the famous inning from
the Sultan of Multan.
Yeah.
Enzi.
Enzi for you, Virendra Sehwag for me, obviously. So the 300 which Sehwag has hit, we had those couple of stickers on our...
I tried to throw you off your game, but well done.
So these are the things. This is how I started following cricket.
Yeah.
Particularly in terms of RCB. First time when we entered the league, we had a very good team. Starting from Dravid, Kumble, and the owner, flamboyant Vijay Mallya.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
And his son Siddharth was also very
Siddharth was
visible at least. Yeah.
That was a team, one city, the flamboyant, the colorful, vibrant Bangalore. Somebody is crowning it, like Vijay Mallya has bringing up an idea of starting a franchise. As you already seen the podcast where Vijay Mallya has mentioned, he was supposed to buy 2 teams, so ended up buying Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Who was he on that? Whose postcard
It was
that?
Raj Shamani. Raj Shamani's podcast, it was 4 hours.
Yes, I remember
so
now.
He was just mentioning about that. Right? So coming back to the point, so 2008 when we entered the league, we were not the best team on the paper. Deccan Chargers was the best.
Definitely.
Rupesh would be happy. What a team. Oh, what a track title song. Crazy team. But
another team full of superstars.
Yeah, full of superstars.
But Rajasthan won.
That's how cricket is.
Yeah.
So starting from Dravid, Kumble's, Daniel Vittori's, Virat Kohli's, Faf, Rajat Patidar, it was a roller coaster ride. So we went to final in 2009. The match was almost near a runnable. In 6 to 7 wickets in hand, we ended up losing. I don't know how. That pain of losing was not much. Maybe because of the age, or maybe because of me attracted by the sports, or my emotional connection with the franchise. Then we lost in 2011 against CSK. That was a marginal victory for CSK. That we felt a bit painful. Like it's been 2 years. We entered final and we lost back-to-back finals. Then we started the rise of Virat Kohli. The way the RCB believed in him, retained him over Dravid, Kumble, Stein, Callis. And this guy was growing. When he started growing, then I think in 2015 or 14 we got Yuvraj. Yuvraj was a big name in international cricket. And everything was started building. We had Stark back then, the young Stark. So everything was setting up. Then comes 2016. Virat Kohli is like golden era, the golden form.
Really good team as well.
Yeah, we had a very good team. We've had a brilliant local lads as well. Like that was the year, but that was not a butter smooth year like 2025. We were at the stage we needed 4 victories in our last 4 matches, and Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers just took us to the final. And if you remember Virat Kohli, that's famous century which we hit against Kings 11 Punjab in a rain affected match, 15 overs match. These guys pulls out 100 out of nowhere, just showing his 8 stitches on his web. Oh my God, like
crazy.
He's crazy. And
that was 2016 was also his peak internationally.
Yeah, I think I am not sure even in the future like somebody could break that record. Gill, maybe. But he has come nearer. Butler also came nearer to that point, but they both couldn't breach it. So how City felt, I want to just recollect the headlines which I have seen. Like I saw.
How did you feel though? And if you were to summarize, because see, this shows me that when I ask you a question about how you feel, it's difficult for you to answer because you go on a long trajectory where you're trying to guide me through the journey, and I feel like that was a difficult question for our listeners. When IPL final was on, I think what date?
3rd of January.
3rd of June. 3rd of June. And you were at my house and we were watching the match, and I remember that when the final ball was bowled and RCB had successfully defended their target, you sat there still for 10-15 seconds. I didn't expect an 18-year wait to culminate in such silence and reflection. And I also thought it was very different to your personality for you to react like that. So I guess I'm answering this question on your behalf, that you were stunned and it took you a lot of time to process. And of course, then the Stampede incident didn't make it any easier. Now you were going to talk about the community and the Stampede obviously being part of the community, of the local community. But as we said earlier, we want to focus on the positives without any disrespect. How did the community react? And then when you can finish off, how did the greater state and the greater fan base of RCB react?
City reacted pretty well. The headlines itself said Diwali has hit early. So
which news channel was this?
So many news channels. No, I can't follow the source like other medias. I can just say social media as a source.
Yeah, apparently that's not acceptable.
So I have seen it on the headlines. So the headlines was basically Diwali has hit early for Bangalore. It was crazy. Like you can see the fireworks all together. I saw pretty beautiful shots from the drone. You can see fireworks working in synchronized manner from Malay Tower, from Kabban Park, from the cities. You have skyscrapers in Bangalore. You can just see that. That's how Bangalore should look like always. So this is not surprise. This was not surprising for me because when we won against CSK the May 18, 2024, that day itself I was in Bangalore. I was feeling it. I can smell the firecrackers here and there. I can listen those sounds. This is final, and I was expecting this to be in this scale. So City enjoyed it thoroughly. There were certain news that reported some of the bars, the owners who were passionate fans towards cricket and RCB, they put up a sale, like 50% off, 100% off. Some people who are already in the bar, like they waived off the price of an alcohol. Like that creates a fan base, that creates the owners. I'm not surprised.
Loyalty.
Loyalty. So, and even like this team belongs to all the Bangalore fans. The team is deep rooted, such that some of the people I have seen on the Twitter that they made a sweet in a next day, like in the mode of celebration. Like how in Western countries, the Western culture follows the cake cutting. We as a South Indians celebrate a festival by making a sweet like kheer. In South Karnataka or the South India, we make it something called Obbattu, the holige. They call it. It's basically a sweet. So it is a significance of celebration. So it's not just about our generation celebrating victory. It has spread deep into the roots. The people like my mother kind of aged demographics, people do celebrate because there is some connection between Bangalore and Bangalore Royal Challengers.
And so would it be fair to assume that the entire state celebrated?
Yes, for sure.
And what about the state of Karnataka and their greater good? How did it specifically influence or impact their sporting infrastructure?
Particularly speaking about Karnataka as a state, we have a very passionate fan base, not just cricket, not just RCB. We do follow women's IPL. Women's Premier League, so called as WPL. We have a huge fans club for Bangalore FC, who plays for ISL
Football,
yeah,
or soccer.
whatever. So we have a huge fan club for Pro Kabaddi League. We have a team called Bangalore Bulls. In Badminton League, we have a called Raptors. Even this, we have a Celebrity Cricket League where we have a team called Karnataka Bulldozers. Every time you go, some match is happening in Bangalore, be it a Chinnaswamy or any ground, it has to be pitchly packed. Recently, I was watching the news from Bangalore. So there was an event organized by Karnataka State where Neeraj Chopra was called. Neeraj Chopra, the
javelin
thrower,
yes.
who was an Olympic medal winner. It was organized in Kantirawa Stadium, the stadium where we have a track and field events happening. So even that stadium was full. So this shows how city or the state is passionate towards sports. So we followed Ranji. In Ranji, Karnataka team was brilliant. Karnataka has given a great amount of sporting legends, even particularly in cricket. So many Indian cricketers were from Karnataka. So there was an era when India used to have 5 to 6 players rooting from Karnataka. So this was a brief history, how infrastructure, how fans do follow sports in Bangalore, sports in Karnataka, and people who are so much passionate about the sports. So other than this, when this whole RCB thing was set up, people started connecting it because I think you can see this flag. This is like 2013 flag. This was a era when Chris Gayle just entered the team. So there was a good phase, but we couldn't win. Then there was 2016. After that, we just hit the rock bottom. 17, 18.
So in the last 7, 8, 9 years, roughly the last decade, out of the entire sporting infrastructure that Karnataka has, unfortunately, RCB was one of the least successful in terms of titles or championships.
Yeah.
So the onus and the pressure was on them to deliver.
Yeah. And additional pressure, in 2024, we had won WPL, the maiden title.
Yeah.
So our cabinet was not full, neither empty. So it was an additional pressure for RCB in 2024. We entered playoffs with a great passion.
But just a second, before you were talking about Chris Gayle, continue from there, right? You had the Chris Gayle situation. You brought him in. You also mentioned the flag that we have in our studio, and you were talking about how this was the start of a specific sort of era where would you continue with that, please?
Coming to the Chris Gayle era, I think it started in late 2012 and 13. So you know the story. We had signed up Dreknanis from associate state, associate
Holland.
country, but ended up playing for
Australia.
So
correct. Gun bowler.
So Dreknanis was signed for RCB.
Yeah.
But due to some injury, he was unavailable for the season, and RCB was not performing pretty good in this particular season. And Vijay Malle, I think he was in contact with somebody in Caribbean. Then he just ringed Chris Gayle that he asked can you join for RCB? Yeah, these are the things, visa process, these are the documentation. Are you ready? He said yes.
At the time, Chris Gayle was with KKR?
Chris Gayle was unsold that year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Chris Gayle was unsold that year. I think base price was 2 crore INR. So I think that year nobody signed Chris Gayle. He was in his party when Vijay Malle called. As per the podcast he mentioned previously in his interviews, Vijay Malle has clearly mentioned. So then comes the Chris Gayle. What a welcome. First match 100. First match 100, he goes on hitting. He is a 6 machine. You ball him short, he'll throw you out. If you ball him outside off, he'll hit you 6 over the point, which is the hardest thing. So with this, we had even signed ABD that just like 2011, right after the first auction. He was with Delhi Daredevils back then.
Correct.
Then ABD pitched in. We have Chris Gale. Virat Kohli was grooming. 2013 onwards, we were on rampage.
So this was the era that was building up towards 2016.
Yep.
Or at least the road to the final, which itself was rocky, and during this phase from 2013 to 2016 with Virat, ABD and Gale.
Even Yuvraj Singh.
My God, I can't understand how that team did not win
Dinesh
anything.
Karthik. Michael Stark.
Mitchell Stark. Yeah. But my point being, how did this 2013 to 2016 phase, or should I say 2012 2016 phase, shape up the years of heartbreak and struggle that followed after? So much so that RCB did not reach another final. Yes, multiple playoffs, correct. But they did not reach a single final since 2016.
2016 to 2025, no.
Yeah. Multiple playoffs.
2011 to 2016, no.
So, question being, when I listen to you tell me this, or whenever I read on the trajectory of RCB, 2016 doesn't seem like a point of climax, it seems like a point of implosion. Because for me, the story, or how the history will remember RCB, is that from 2016 to 2025, for 9 years, they failed to reach a final.
Yep.
No one remembers the third and fourth place. So the playoffs kind of will fade with time.
Yep.
The memory of the playoffs. But what people do remember are the final losses as well as the final victories. So with this point of implosion in 2016 that I am describing it as, I could be wrong. What happened? What was so disastrous that it took 9 years? And I know that in 2019, 2020, Mike Hessen comes in. There's a big change, big switch over. And that ends up becoming a 5-year project that culminates now. So could you please just talk us through this whole journey from 2016, the point of implosion, to the point 2025, a climax, a triumph?
Can I ask you a question in written? Can you just name me top 5 bowlers played for RCB from the starting era?
Historically or for IPL?
Any given timeline.
I would put Anil Kumble right up there. I would put Vinay Kumar. I would put Yuzi Chahal. I'd put, I know a lot of fans might disagree, Mohammad Siraj. And Zaheer Khan.
So, I think you got my...
That most bowlers are from recent history?
No.
And then?
I was just suggesting you that we were always batting heavy, concentrated on particular things. We never had a gun bowling lineup. In a stadium which is also known as graveyard for bowlers, not having bowlers.
Chinnaswamy?
Yep. What do you expect from a team? Batsmen can win you matches. It's the bowlers who wins you the tournament. It's not quoted by me. It's not said by me. You know, that is how a tournament has been won. That's the blueprint. You need a gun bowlers. You need bowlers. At least to pull 20 overs. Siraj, we groomed it. First 3-4 hours was difficult for us. Then he started giving results. And Zach, he was pretty good. But there was never a pair of bowlers who used to give us a good results. When Harshal was there was nobody else. When Chahal was there, nobody else were there. When Stark was there, it was only Stark. When Rampal was there, only Rampal. When we had Jack Ellis, we had Stein together. After that, we never saw somebody pairing up together and coming for us. We used to have a bowling all-rounder named players like Chris Jordan. No disrespect, but we had Shane Watson. We had everybody, but we never had a pair of bowlers.
You had everybody, but never at the right time.
Yeah.
At the same time or at the right time?
Yep.
Yeah.
This was one of the reason, and even if you look at the how run spread has been with the Indian batters, it was Virat Kohli, it was Rahul Dravid. There is no Indian batter who crossed 1,000 runs for RCB. We never backed any Indian batsman. We always stayed with our right choice, that is Virat Kohli. We didn't groom any other Indian batsman.
So which year did this change or start changing? Because now I see the likes of Jitesh Kumar, the Rajat Patidars, and how did that and when did that change?
I'm not sure when did it change. I'm even thinking whether it is changed or not. I think 2025 auction, the retention says it all. The Rajat Patidar retention. This was one of the retention which we think
Bold move
and captaincy move. The record which I was speaking after Virat Kohli, there was no one else who's crossed 1,000 plus runs for highest run getter. I think recently Devdas Padikkal has broken that record. Another home lad. So Dinesh Karthik was nearest. So we didn't back a Indian core, including batsmen, bowlers. That was one of our mistake. We always went for exotic buys. If you've seen, we are always flashy buys, headlines. Yuvraj.
That complements Vijay Mallya's personality.
Yeah,
and the flamboyance.
I think Vijay Mallya left his ownership in 15-16.
Yeah, but the imprint doesn't just disappear overnight.
Yeah, I understand. So that was a time when RCB used to go for flashy players. We bought Kelly Jamieson, if you know.
Kyle Jamieson, yeah.
The New Zealand pacer. We bought it for 16 crores.
Crazy. Unnecessary money.
It was a mini auction. We had money. Flaunt. So these are the reasons why RCB couldn't click these years. Not backing Indian players, not backing your core team, not retaining your core strengths, letting off the people just before they started firing.
And you also talked about, implied that there was a change in auction strategy because they moved away from flashy buys.
Yeah.
And now I think this is a good point to move to our next segment, which is in the middle, where we talk about specifically this season as well as the very recent history that obviously has an impact on the outcome of the recently completed season. Yeah, stay tuned. On to our next segment, in the middle, where we break down what actually happened, what worked, and was there anything holding RCB back during this season. RCB became the first team in IPL history to win all away games. They won for the first time against CSK at Chepauk since 2008. They beat Mumbai Indians for the first time in Wankhede since 2015.
True.
And they began their season by beating KKR in their very own backyard, Eden Gardens, where RCB too don't have that good of a record.
Yep.
This was the most dominant away run in IPL history. What worked so well that you guys became champions? What didn't work during the season? For example, there was a lot of criticism around the spin bowlers, not in the playoffs, but before that. And also the really bad record at Chinnaswamy, 3 out of 7. If we include that rescheduled game against, who was it? SRH. That was considered a home game, but obviously it wasn't, so we're going to keep that out of the record. But only 3 out of 7 won in the group stage at home. So when you put all of this together, you know, this road warrior mentality where they kept winning on the road, but there were holes in their home ground performances, this sort of fragility, some collapses. So I don't want to sit here and just focus on the negatives. So we will definitely start with the positives and focus on what worked, what didn't work. But we also need to look at how do RCB continue improving.
So we'll break this session into further more deep. We'll start with what are the multiple reasons which has helped RCB. How did it win the championship in 2025? We'll drill down from the think tank to the final match. Then we can focus on the weaknesses where we can plug those gaps. Sounds good.
Sounds perfect. Let's start with auction strategy.
Yeah. Before auction strategy, I should say that there was some indication that this final was cooking. 18 season, jersey number 18. When you sum up all this final date, that is June 2025, 3rd of June 2025. When you summation, you get something called 18. So there was something cooking as per the numerology, but there is something else I need to focus on. When you look back at last 5 to 6 years for RCB, RCB was one of the most consistent team for last 5 to 6 years. Let's consider 6 years.
Consistently reaching playoffs.
Highest win percentage among all the champions. And from RCB performing in the match, like it was Gujarat Titans, I guess. That was a mid 2024 season. From there till today, RCB has lost only 5 matches, including the match which we lost in playoffs against Rajasthan Royals. So when you look at this thing, there was something which was consistently building. The team was getting consistent. The strategies were getting spot on, because there were a time then we used to win matches like 3 to 4 matches a season, then which ended up being we missed 2023 season by a whisker. Like we were almost there. We lost the match because of Shubnam Gill hitting the century in the same match. Virat Kohli has hit a century. So that was compensated. Otherwise, it was 6 of 6 playoffs. We even settled for some reasons, like we as RCB fans settled like entering playoffs was a big deal for us, because we faced those rough patches of 17, 18, 19. Then we are like, if we reach playoffs, it's good for us. We are like one step at a time. So after Ashish Nehra's era with Simon Katic as our head coach, then comes Mr. Mike Hussey. Mike Hussey worked with Sanjay Bangar, I guess. Yeah. Mike Hassan worked with Sanjay Bangar. This was an era when they...
Mike Hassan, right. Yeah. Hussey to CSK.
So Mike Hassan worked with Sanjay Bangar. Sanjay Bangar was pretty good with domestic circuit. He knows players in and out. He follows cricket a bit closer. He has his own, you can call it an intelligence. So he has his own branches spread across the globe, where we have an input from those people. This
like a scout network.
It's a scout network. So the foreign touch of Mike Hassan and a good cricketing brain, culminating with Bangar's domestic circuit experience.
Yeah.
This ended up being a good auction for RCB. We ended up buying some good names who performed. When we bought Maxwell, there was a big question. Why Maxwell? Maxwell was always a costliest buys in IPL, irrespective of whether he performs or not. We were lucky. He performed for us. He performed almost every season except 2024. He was one of our top run getters in previous years. In the shades of Virat Kohli and ABD Villiers. We wanted somebody who is exotic at the back end of the innings. We had Maxwell. Then we had DK followed up. So this was how it was building. Then let's not forget to mention Faf du Plessis, champion player, such great fitness, the way he handled RCB franchise, taking captaincy from Virat Kohli. It was never easy, because there are, if you take a example of Mumbai Indians, it was not easy transitions. So whereas coming up and becoming a captain of Royal Challengers Bangalore, taking a baton from Virat Kohli, there were multiple questions where like whether he gonna handle. Obviously, he was Faf du Plessis. He was a captain for South Africa, and this guy got some skill. Not just winning matches, but also building a team around him.
Leadership.
So he handled it pretty well. City has welcomed Fab du Plessis with open-hearted. We had so many other leadership changeovers in 2024. Mr. Andy, we restructured our whole think tank. That was my top reason I consider why RCB has won. If I started giving another 10 reasons, I will start with my top one reason because of which RCB could able to crack this. It was think tank. When you look into the think tank, you have Mr. Andy, you have Mo Babat, who was director of cricket. Mike Hassan was director of cricket, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Mo Babat. Then they bought in shades of Mr. Dinesh Karthik, who just finished his season.
Batting mentor.
He played for us. Then he commentated. Then he went on to play for Pearl Royals, the South Africa League.
Yeah.
Then he came back and became batting coach and mentor. You know him.
Alongside Sky Sports contract.
Yeah.
Sky Cricket contract, sorry. Yeah.
He is some good cricketing brain.
Yeah, and then along with DK and all of them, there was also Freddie Wild, author, was in charge of strategies plus matchups. And Andy Flower, as you mentioned, head coach, and Mr. Malolan Rangarajan, spin coach.
Yeah. So, if you look at the series of Andy alone, known for what? Delivering results in every franchise he has been.
That's true.
He took Lucknow Super Giants 2 consecutive playoffs. Then in 24 he had no contract. Then Mr. Faf du Plessis was a captain of St. Lucius. What is that? The team. There is a team in CPL where Faf du Plessis captains it. He was a head coach in that particular league.
And you spoke about Andy Flower and the influence and impact he had or has. His record speaks for itself. He has, in recent years, coached CPL where he worked with Faf du Plessis. But in 2024, when they won the CPL, the coaching staff had changed, but Faf du Plessis was still captain. But under Andy Flower's captaincy, they reached the final in 2020 and in 2021. In the PSL with Multan Sultans, he led, I think, arguably one of the most successful stints for a coach in PSL history, where they reached the eliminator in 2020, they won in 2021, and they were finalists in 2022 and 2023. Under his coaching, Multan Sultans won 30 out of 46 matches, and his captain was Mohammad Rizwan. And the second elimination in the final in 2023 led to his sacking. But that being said, this guy brings an accomplished record. He has reached 7 finals. He has reached 3 titles in the domestic leagues. He's also a T20 World Cup winner with England 2010. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And if you just bring the touch of Mo Babat along with him, they are a different gravy. He was a Hall of Fame cricketer, ICC Hall of Fame cricketer.
Yeah.
That is no joke.
Yeah.
He has won 3 Ashes for England. And this was the same combination which shuffled the whole England cricket team based on T20 team, 50-50 ODI, 50-50 overs ODI team, then Test team. This was the revolutionary era under Morgan.
Morgan and Andy Flower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Morgan, Andy Flower and Mo Babat. So these RCB think
Mo Babat was working with the England team back then.
Yep.
So this man has been at the top of his game for a while.
Yeah, this guy is good with numbers. He is not good with the analysis, but he is very good with the reports of the analysis. He knows what to do with that numbers. Bringing Freddie and plugging this hole, one who understands games better, one who understands number better, the one who brings the numbers for the table.
It's a proper team.
It's a proper team. That's
almost like a corporate setup.
Yeah, that's a proper corporate setup.
Yeah.
And bringing Dinesh Karthik, who just finished this season, who has rubbed his shoulder along Yash Dayal, Rajat Patidar.
Played alongside them, knows them.
So they know the game very well.
He becomes a bridge.
I want to speak particularly about DK on my upcoming sessions. And let's not forget our bowling coach, fast bowling coach. His name is Salvi, who was assistant bowling coach for KKR. KKR's coach was Mr. Chandrakant Pandit. He was one of the legendary name in domestic circuit.
Correct.
So Rajat Patidar was his favorite player for Madhya Pradesh. He coaches for Madhya Pradesh for Ranchi team. So
how does this all then incorporate into the different auction strategy that we saw? In our previous segment, you had mentioned about flashy buys, the exotic kind. How did this change in think tank translate into a change in auction strategy?
As I mentioned you earlier, one guy we have who is a data driven, one who is very good in getting number for him, the one who understands game, the one who has recently played. So this is one of the best combination you ever could have. So these people, I'll just give an example. How did they approach the game? If I was buying a bowler, they didn't just buy a bowler by name. They segregated power play into two halves.
Okay.
Let's call power play 1, 2, 3 over as my power play part 1 and power play 4, 5, 6 as my part 2.
Understood.
Then they put up a scattered numbers, like which bowler has performed best in 1, 2, 3, who performed best in 4, 5, 6, who performed in my death, and who performed in the middle.
Okay.
When they started hunting for the players, they knew what role they are looking for. If they backed Yash Dayal, they knew he gonna ball you for your first part of your power play, then some in middle, and then he can come at the end and pad between Bhuvi and Hazelwood. If he has a bad day, then there should be someone who is plugging his overs. This is how they approached as a part of bowler. So when they went for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, they were pretty sure. These all things you can see the auction strategies which RCB has put up on their YouTube. You can see how detailed they did. After seeing the first day of auction, we as an RCB fan were on fire. Like, what are they even doing? I was the same guy just before Dinesh Karthik headed towards Jeddah. This 2025 auction was in Jeddah. So I just said, DK Anna, if we call him DK Anna, we believe in you. And that was the one comment out of nowhere. I went on his Instagram and tabbed. I know he not replied. That's okay. So
if DK is listening, please reply.
Yeah, DK, please. So this is how they approached. Whether be it a batting, be it a bowling, they went plugging the positions. And they broke the whole 20 hours of batting, bowling into different sections. Then they look for the players who can fix them. Particularly, I need to speak about choosing Phil Salt. Most of the people were unhappy with not buying KL Rahul. To be frank, RCB didn't buy a single player from marquee set. Again, no buying from exotic buys. When you already bought Rajat Patidar, there was no looking for another captain. So just strike out Shreyas Iyer and Pant from the list. Left with KL Rahul. KL Rahul at 14 crores was a steal. We were supposed to buy, but RCB has already finalized that they're not going to go over 14 crore for any given player. Because if we had went for one of the costliest buys, we would have suffered. God bless, we didn't get Venkatesh Iyer. With my all due respect, I think RCB played a bluff against KKR so that they wanted some certain player, so that they wanted to kill their purse. I consider that was a strategy. Otherwise, it was a pure luck for us.
Well, I always tell you off mic that KKR retained the wrong Iyer.
Yeah.
Right.
For this season.
That's a discussion for but how do you sack up T20 winning, IPL winning captain? How do you retain someone that is honestly a great player but has not had the same impact as Shreyas? But that's a discussion for later.
Yeah.
I completely support this idea of KL Rahul not being bought by RCB because batting wise, playing Rahul and Kohli together is essentially like creating Rizwan and Babar.
Yeah.
You have two players who are augmenting each other's weaknesses rather than neutralizing them or almost concealing them.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at strike rates and runs per boundaries per ball, etc. KL Rahul and Virat are very similar, and I don't think that would work in the long run, especially in high-scoring leagues like the IPL. And your decision, RCB's decision to prioritize explosive power plays and hence choosing Phil Salt was a masterstroke, not only in this season but also the prior seasons where he was honestly a massive impact player. You mentioned the 14 crore INR cap. What's really interesting is that I find most of your players that ended up having a really strong, maybe even profound impact, but it was strong nevertheless, were players that were cheap, relatively speaking. Your man of the match in the final, Krunal Pandya, cost you 5.75 crore. Ingiri, Nuwan Toshara, Romario Shepherd, who played...
Bethel.
Sorry?
Jacob
Bethel. All these guys that chipped in at crucial times, sometimes sitting on the bench all season, only coming in when necessary, when required. And what, all of them, the names that I just mentioned, cost less than 3 crores?
Yeah. Jacob Bethel somewhere in 3. But I am pretty sure that we got all these under 10.
So now that all of them are under 3 crore, with probably a combined cost of, apart from Krunal, it will probably go up to 10, 11 crore. That doesn't even, you didn't even violate your 14 crore mark. And you got 4 players who ended up having a very strong impact. And that's what I loved about this season, watching as a neutral, is that RCB's victories as well as their IPL triumph wasn't dependent on one player. It was dependent on multiple players, sometimes even the less glamorous ones, which is a huge shift from the De Villiers, Gale, Kumble, Dravid sort of era where you just had these stalwarts anchoring the team. But this year it's been, I always talk about the LSG game with you especially, because for me, when I was watching, this is a quarterfinal. They have to win if they if they put themselves through that extra game, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And the way they performed, the way people like Jitesh performed in that match, I was just completely blown away by the change of strategy. It was so significant. You're not depending on one player, depending on everyone. You're even depending on the less glamorous names. And that is textbook strategy, team building towards a title triumph. What really surprised me, and I will admit here on mic, was that I didn't expect Patidar to do what he did or what he has done, and also the way he let himself be mentored by Kohli. Huge credit to Kohli during the 2024 season. And you had earlier mentioned Indian core, right? Like the start with Mike Hesson, and then Andy Flower comes in, further consolidates it along with the rest of the guys that we were talking about. No glamour picks. Rajat Patidar is elevated to captaincy, not a glamorous choice once again, fending away from the glamour, the optics, the huge PR pullers, and focusing on guys like, Rajat Patidar, Rash Dayal, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Karan Sharma, Suyansh, right? Kids who, not kids, but players who you don't necessarily would bank on.
Yeah.
But RCB made that bold decision and ended up being the core.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I also forgot to mention Jitesh. So this was an incredible decision, right? Then crazy performances, people putting up their hands at different times, incredible away record. But now the elephant in the room, which I think if RCB don't improve on, they won't be able to build on this success. They're, sorry to say, they're really bad, horrific home record. How do you, because you were the same person earlier in this podcast telling me that Chinnaswamy is a graveyard for bowlers, right? And then at the same time, you had asked me, what are the first few bowlers that come to mind when I ask you about RCB? And then you said that's because Chinnaswamy is a graveyard for bowlers. Yes, Chinnaswamy is a flat, high-scoring track. Opposition specifically targeted.
Shorter boundaries.
As well as the weak links in the bowling attack. actually the Indian core. When I listen to you say all of this, my brain still doesn't allow me to say, yeah, it's okay. Um, let's just focus on outbatting the team at home and outballing them away. I might be I might be making all of this a little bit too simplified, a little too black and white. But when I just look at the stats and I don't contextualize, which I know is a mistake, but when I don't contextualize, this is the sort of story that comes across to me. As someone who follows almost every ball religiously that RCB ever play, where do you think the problem lies in the home record? Are the stats telling a different story from the reality, or is this in fact true?
Before answering this question, I want to touch upon a point choosing Rajat Patidar as a captain. The franchise like RCB, big name, big fame, huge fan following, and choosing somebody like Rajat Patidar, who was not even capped in T20 for India. He has got a cap in ODI and Test, I guess, but not as a T20 player, neither in his Team ABC scheme of things for 2020. But Virat Kohli has backed Rajat Patidar's decision, but we need to give a credit to Mobabat, Andy, and other supporting staff who were involved in making this decision. They followed Rajat Patidar to the core. Mobabat was even present at Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, where same Shreyas Iyer was leading Mumbai and Mr. Patidar was leading Madhya Pradesh, and the match was in Bangalore. Destiny. So each time I heard from Bangalore stating they had approached Rajat Patidar for leadership role last year, but he said I need to get exposed to the real-time situations. So Mobabat, Andy was in touch with Chandrakant Pandit, which I already mentioned, who was a captain for, who was a coach for Madhya Pradesh, where Rajat Patidar totally groomed into a leadership role. Then they clearly said him that when you are batting, you are just Rajat Patidar. Go there, bat like a Rajat Patidar. When you are on field, go by your instincts. We are here to support. And when you have a big names like Virat Kohli, Hazelwood, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Krunal Pandya, these are all our captains for their respective states or the domestic teams they play for. When you look at the whole RCB players, experience was one of the main reason, and experience like a captaincy experience. So these people backed Rajat Patidar. So this was one of the reason why the decision of making Rajat Patidar clicked for us. So coming back to the question which you asked me, why did we fail in Chinnaswamy? To be frank, I don't have an answer for that. I have certain set of assumptions, stats, on which I can rely and say certain things, which I'm going to say in my next minutes. But there is no hard and fast rule that how you crack this
home record.
If you look into Chipok, you know it's a turning track. You get pitch in with 4 spinners, some cutter bowlers, the slower bowlers like DJ Bravo, Harshal Patel. These people will click there. When RCB during the COVID or next 2 seasons, when RCB didn't play in home, we had a very good record. We had a very good away record. We have we played 5 matches in Chipok, I guess. It was a slow moving track. Harshal Patel, ideal conditions for him. He used to dance batsmen in the crease. So when you look at Chinnaswamy, there is no particular pattern. It's a high scoring ground always. But in recent years, when you look at how pitch has turned, it started skidding or it started gripping bit in a second half of the match, and it's not as easy as it used to be previously because ball is not coming very good on the bat. As you look at the recordings or when people speak about the pitch, it was not as easy as it used to be. So thing has what it has become, if RCB wins the toss And if they are chasing, then you have at least a target set right in front of you. You can plan your innings where Virat Kohli comes in handy. But the same Virat Kohli goes into bat in a certain pitch and he is struggling to say this is a safe total, then there must be a demons in the pitch. Not the demons which I am not speaking like the Nagpur demons or the Delhi demons or not the South African demons, just Chinnaswamy demons here and there. We except Chahal, I didn't see any bowler who's successful in Chinnaswamy. That's the Chahal was very
For RCB.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Chahal is our highest wicket taker.
No, that's fine. But you saying that
Yeah.
he's head and shoulders above everyone else?
Yes, in Chinnaswamy, yes. Even with the shorter boundaries, even being a leg spinner, he used to ball his heart out. He was never afraid to go full. He was never afraid to give the flight to the batsman.
One sentence response then. Why did you get rid of him?
That's $1 million.
One sentence.
Foolishness.
One word. Wow. Okay. But if I'm talking about Yuzi, talking about Chinnaswamy, I was hoping you would bring this up as a supporter, but how can we not talk about the fact that your spin attack had the 8th worst economy in the IPL? However, there is some context that we need to provide for these stats. At home, Krunal Pandya has the best economy rate of 9.17.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, Suyash is second with 9.38. Then when we go away, right, Krunal Pandya once again has the best economy rate of 7.68.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to include Tushara because he only played one match, but Krunal has the best economy rate away from home. Second is Hazelwood and third is Suyash. But here's where the problem lies. I feel like there is this conjecture, this narrative around the spinners not doing their job or leaking too many runs. But for me, the issue are the averages. Krunal is the reason I think that the bowlers don't seem as bad because Suyash's numbers in isolation are pretty disappointing. When you look at their averages, Krunal at home averages 39, which is lower than Hazelwood, it is lower than Nangiri, it is lower than Yash Dayal. But, sorry, not lower than Yash Dayal, also lower than Romario Shepherd. Mm-hmm. But Suyash has the worst average out of all the bowlers. His average at home, Sharan, is 84.5. Then when we go towards the away record, Krunal has the best average, 17, with an economy of 7.68. And then you have, once again, Suyash being the worst at 45.5. So, I guess the problem is that Suyash isn't taking wickets regularly enough. His strike rate away from home is the worst at 32. His strike rate at home is also the worst at 54. So this isn't to slander or criticize Suyash. I have told you multiple times on off mic that I think he has something.
Yeah.
There is an X factor. The pace at which he balls, the grip at which he's able to generate with that pace is impressive. His only bad thing is, or his biggest criticism is that his bad balls always seem to go for 4s and 6s. And this might sound like a very simplistic point, but it's not. When you play cricket, sometimes you realize that even your bad balls can get away. Either, there is enough pace on the ball for the batsman to not to be able to time it properly. Sometimes there isn't enough pace on the ball for the batsman to time it properly. So when a guy like Suyash comes in and even all his bad balls are getting hit for 4s and 6s and he's not getting away with any, yes, there is a luck factor involved, but that also tells us that he needs to obviously tighten his discipline because he does ball a lot of bad balls. But secondly, he needs to maybe develop a few more variations or maybe create a little bit more of a guessing game for the batsman so that when there is a bad ball, the batsmen also have to figure out how to play that bad ball or what that bad ball is going to do off the pitch.
Since you have
So, sorry to cut you off. My whole point of sharing these stats as well as making these distinctions was it's not as bad as the spinning situation is not as bad as it seems. RCB stuck to their guns, only played 2 spinners. If there was ever a need, it was through Livingston, but he barely bowled anything. Every time the 6th bowler, most of the time, actually not every time, but most of the time was a fast bowler. Even with the replacements that were brought in during the season, such as Lungiri, such as Novan Toshara, such as Romario Shepherd, these are all guys who are going to give you the 6th bowling option of a pacer. So keeping all of this in mind, how do you now, after whatever I've said, assess the spin department at RCB?
Yeah. First of all, we should accept the fact that we didn't had a spin bowling lineup which was as attacking or deadlier when compared to the other teams.
Okay.
But it was not fluke that RCB went for Suyash plus Kurunal. If you carefully observe their auction strategy, they knew that they're gonna go for these two. They had Chal in their mind. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it because Chal went for 18. As soon as he crossed 14, then RCB was in no condition to buy Chahal. So their plan B was this. Suyash Sharma, he's very young. He had a hernia, I guess. Recently, he had been bad with his shape. So RCB helped him to get a surgery back in UK. Because when you are supporting player to that extent, you understand his biomechanics better. So you bring in a science like what can things go better. So what could help Suyash Sharma to grow better? He has a good variations, but he should work on his pace variations. In the middle of the match, I am not sure which match was it. I think it was Kings XI Punjab, the away match which we were playing in Malanpur. He goes on to ball leg spins, bit quicker. He used to go till 100, 105s. As soon as there was a communication from the dugout saying to go for the slower one, which gets in the googly. As soon as he reduced his pace on a googly, he gets a wicket. So our spin bowling coach Molalan has been continuously working on this guy. This was his testing year for RCB, particularly in Chinnaswamy. I think he will be a great asset since we got him around 5 to 6 crores. Maybe we were expecting too much from him in his very first season. I think under the wings of Krunal Pandya, he has a better chances growing further because you have a lights of Molalan and maybe we can have another spinner. We have very young spin attack. Our captain for the spin bowling lineup is Krunal Pandya. The Krunal Pandya, he's into different league. He is not a orthodox left-hand spinner.
He's very Imad Wasim like.
Yeah, he can make Shreyas Iyer play back foot. He can make Venki Iyer wear helmet for his spin bowling. He is a guy who plays a street smart cricket, plays against your mind. He just disturbed Venkatesh Iyer, just asked him to wear the helmet. He put a bouncer. Venkatesh Iyer called for the helmet. Next ball he got out. The quicker one through the stumps. He does this. He bowled 20th over against Mumbai. He got wicket for the bouncer. Not surprised. He got Deepak Char and another one at a fine leg. He uses the bouncers like the slower one of Bhuvneshwar Kumar and the faster one of Krunal Pandya are of same speed. Can you imagine?
Yeah, because Bhuvneshwar is a classic medium pacer. I don't think he's ever had pace in recent years. Yes, before he did.
Yeah.
But
But
not
coming back to the point, these are the spin options we had. The another option we had is Mohit Rathi, who is a domestic leg spinner. I think RCB has not considered him for this season. And another option which RCB had and they didn't use him is Jacob Bethel. I have watched his interviews. He has been working on his, he's a left arm spinner. He's working on his bowling as well. He will come into action soon. I think he is a fanboy for us, not only as a batsman, not just as a fielder. He will be a big asset as an all-rounder for us.
And he's a great batsman too, great hitter.
Yeah.
Fantastic hitter.
Yeah.
Do you have any other reasons that you want to share about what worked and what did not this season?
I feel it's individual contributions. When you look at even when you look at the scoreboard of final, it's not like some guy like the LSG match. Some guy came in, pitched in 85, 90s. No, everybody has contributed to their level. 190 was a below par score as per cricketing fraternity. The 220 would be a good score, but when you look at the 190, it spread across the sheet. Somebody pitched in 20, 30, 40. So whoever has come in just gave their contribution. This was a story of RCB this year. If everyone
team performance.
It was a team performance. If Rajat fails, Virat Kohli pitched in. If Salt fails, Virat Kohli is striking at the top. If Virat Kohli is feeling under pressure, DDP comes in and take the bowlers out of equation. Then he scores quicker ones. If DDP gets injured, then Mayank comes straight into the game. He scores some match-winning knocks. If everybody is in the hut already and the match has come to the 6th and 7th batsman, to your finishers, Romario Shepherd pulls out his card like 13 ball 54. That was a match defining. That was the innings of this particular IPL. It was not just a batsman. If you even go through the bowlers, every bowler has performed us.
Correct.
You were out of 14-15 players who played for RCB this year, we have 9 man of the matches.
Wow.
9 man of the matches. Krunal has 2 in the league, 1 in the final. Suyash has 1. Hazel has 1. Jitesh has 1. Rajat has 2. Virat has 1. Salt has 1. So you can just start counting. And this is the only team in IPL where 9 different batsmen scored 50s.
Wow.
Livingston in his bad phase scored 50 for RCB. We ended up losing. That's a different matter. But at least he stood when we required.
And Phil Salt scored 400 plus runs at a 145 plus strike rate.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You spoke about Hazelwood, 22 wickets and pretty much controlled the death overs.
Yes.
And of course, I think arguably the player of the tournament for RCB.
Yes.
The lesser known Pandya, Krunal. 17 wickets, Matt Turner, and obviously the man of the match in the final. He comes in clutch when needed.
Yeah, he is clutch Pandya. Another name which Rajat Patidar call him as a kill switch. He's like, whenever he is in trouble, he straight away looks into the eyes of Krunal Pandya. You want wicket? You want to control the runs? I am here. And he is a gun fielder too. He maybe looks like off-shouldered, but he's a gun fielder. He took a brilliant catch in this IPL. And this guy know how to play in a big matches. So other than this, one of the reason which RCB should be credited for is their bench strength. If you have an emergency and Hazelwood goes out, Ngidi comes in, gives his contribution. If you have another injury, Nuwan Tushara comes in, straight away gives his performance.
Foreign but low cost.
Low cost. You have a Salt who is having a fever. Jacob Bethel comes in, hits 50. Young gun player. gun fielder.
You also have to understand, though, Sharan, a lot of these decisions were favored by luck.
I understand.
Because
But,
the
this was the
same
luck
fan
never,
base, the same fan base would always complain of a lack of luck.
Yeah.
And now that you have it, it's very easy for us to sit here in retrospect and appreciate these decisions. But if they had gone wrong, me and you would be sitting here ripping RCB's strategy apart.
Yes, we would. But
Which is what everyone has done for the last 18 years.
Yes. You see, Mayank Agarwal, he was in Oman, I guess. He was having some practice sessions for Karnataka. He gets a call, straight away comes in, played. He was an RCB guy, once an RCB and always an
Well,
RCB.
that's because of Oman.
Yeah, maybe. Just like my friends always said me, you watched 17 seasons of cricket from India. It didn't win. As soon as you left your land, it won.
So
they consider me as an iron.
So they want you to do your PhD in Purdue now.
I think.
Okay. And you have one last point that you wanted to make.
I want to speak about the two matches. The one we played the playoffs.
Eliminator and qualifier and final.
Qualifier 1 and the final.
Yes.
I think, where do you think we sealed this season? One, the performance which came in LSG match.
Fantastic.
That pushed us to believe that this is the season. As soon as you finished your LSG match, you directly went in like a monster, demolished Kings 11, Punjab Kings to their grave, killed. Literally, you got sub 100 scores, like top of the table team. You are crushing, demolishing.
I think Kings 11 lost the IPL in that match.
See,
it's very demoralizing.
Demoralizing, but I appreciate Shreyas Iyer for this. As soon as the match over, he said that we have lost a battle, not a war. That was his statement. He knew that if even Mumbai is coming there, we're going to belt them out. That was the confidence he had.
But what about the psychological aspect of playing against a team that skittled you out for 100 odd?
But if you can see, the final was not the case. If you had seen 2024 final, what was the final?
But Sharan, don't you think at the back of your mind this thing remains that we are playing against the same bowlers that didn't even let us score more than 100? They made us look like fools on otherwise decent batting track. Then they came in and chased it with 10 overs to spare. It's just demolition.
Yeah, but if you look at the final, it didn't happen. We won it till the last moment. Like it doesn't happen. It didn't happen like it happened in a qualifier 1.
I just think there had to be some corridors in the game where the PTSD of the previous qualifier had or was playing on Kings 11 Punjab's players.
I don't think so, because
just my guesstimate.
I understand. I respect your perspective towards that match. But 190 RCB was subpar. Still the game was on. The young openers of Punjab were chasing 45 for nil. There was RCB was not in a scheme of things of winning that particular match until and unless we took a Shreyas Iyer's wicket. So it was not a one-sided match at all. They played till 14th over. Then we started playing our mind games.
Mr. Amario Shepherd gets Shreyas out and then you tighten the screws.
Can I just bring out a fact? Shreyas Iyer was not out in whole Ahmedabad leg.
Wow. He's a beast.
Then Shreyas Iyer didn't score double-digit score against RCB. All 4 matches.
Why do you think what's happening?
We were lucky. Shreyas Iyer has a weakness for short ball. We knew it. But he has improved a lot. But he got out for Hazelwood in one of the match. That was a proper set. But it was a rash shot played by Shreyas Iyer. But the final...
It was nothing short. Neither here nor there.
The final match, I thought he was trying to cut the ball or he wanted to be a bit defensive and take a single somewhere in the
I
cover
think he was
region?
just trying to fend it off for a single.
Uh-huh.
And then I think he got caught in between two minds trying to run it down to third man or just pushing it towards cover for a single. And I think Shepard's ball deviated a little bit, moved away a little bit after it pitched, and that was enough.
And he was more prepared for the pace, which was in 140s. He was expecting Rajat Patidar to bring back the Hazelwood. But I think the pace and the bounce of Remario Shepard, the natural height of the Remario Shepard,
Also
caught him
skiddy.
off guard, I guess.
It's also a skiddy bowler, right? He kind of bowls sidearm.
Yeah.
He's not really like at the 11, 12 o'clock arm position. So I think his again one of those things. These are
double-minded shot.
Double-minded shot. Made the right decision to bring on Shepard, and I look, when I'm talking about all these things, we have to acknowledge the fact that there is definitely an element of luck involved, because there's so many decisions going your way, so many 50-50 calls going in your favor. In football or soccer, this is the equivalent of you winning every duel, right?
Why are you going trying to draw a parallel of football? You look at, these are the situations RCB used to lose. This was a history. Every time then when there was 50-50, RCB always lost.
So the matchups within the match was where the game was being lost.
Yeah.
So this was a huge improvement then, right? And that has to once again go back.
Capitalizing the moment, crunch moments. And I think Rajat Patidar, the captain, being calm at these moments, whenever the boundary has been hit, he never reacted on the ball. It's a part of game.
And it's a huge contrast from Virat's style of leadership.
Yep.
It's really interesting how, but to each to their own. Each person has their own motive, each fuel for determination. And I think Virat's is aggression, whereas Rajat probably has something else.
So one last point I want to highlight.
In the middle segment, yes.
That is DK as a mentor. He worked...
I'd like to let our ladies and gentlemen know that Mr. Sharan is a huge fan of DK.
DK
Take everything he says with a pinch of salt.
So he has mentored. He started the process so early. As soon as he signed Jitesh Sharma, he called him for the Mumbai leg, the practice session. He started working with Jitesh. He has worked with DDP. DDP is Devdutt Padikkal.
Yeah.
He has a pretty bad seasons like last 3 years. Then he worked with DDP. Then he has given a role of one down. Like, you need to go fire. You need to take the pressure off the opener as soon as you enter. That's exactly what DDP did, except one match. That's an outlier. We need to accept that, accept the fact that some outliers lies in a data set. So, if you can look at Jitesh Sharma's previous years and this year, you see the range of shots.
And you think that range extension is because of DK?
It's not me. It's Jitesh himself says that. You should appreciate the guts that Jitesh has got. He has already seen, when RCB asked him to manifest something, he wrote, when we end of this IPL, I will be having cup in my hand, Virat on my right and DK on my left. That's exactly happened. That's the power of manifestation. And he believed in the process. He believed in DK's things. If he even said, if bowler balls 160 kmph and DK asked me to scoop, I'll scoop with my eyes closed. That was the belief. That's how Dronacharya Ekalava's combination comes in.
And I think that's the importance of having the right mentor.
You just look at his range of shots. He swept middle stump Yorker of Bolt to fine leg and one to the square leg. One was a ramp and one was proper sweeping. He was sweeping like a leg spinner. Predetermined. He knew that he gonna bowl. And I never saw Rajat Patidar playing unorthodox cricketing shots. He was playing this year.
But that's proper, yeah.
Proper straight bat cricket player playing his V's. This year he was trying to sweep. He was trying to pedal, trying to ramp it up. He even hit like the famous Virender Sehwag's uppercut. He played in this season.
I wonder how much of it has to do with DK.
I'm not sure how much, but there is a significant contribution of DK being DK. He has contributed as a mentor and he was always active on the rope. boundary rope. He was roaming with his diaries. They call him Professor because of that look.
So he's your Muhammad Hafiz.
You can call me Mohammad Hafiz, but I can call him Professor from Money Heist.
This is a great end to our segment, where now we'll move to our last and final segment, What's Next? On to our last segment, What's Next? What's next for Royal Challengers Bangalore? Where do they go from here? They have finally triumphed after 18 years. We have touched upon future trajectories, what they can improve on, what are things that still have a scope for improvement. We've spoken about spin, but we've also noticed that it's not really a chronal issue. It might be more of a Suyash issue. We've also appreciated the impact that RCB have been able to make as a team instead of focusing on individuals. We've spoken about past lessons and things that they could have done better, their transition from marquee players to more impact-oriented players, low-cost, high-impact sort of model, match-winning players. So where do they go from here? What's next? Do we see RCB defending their title? Do we see them making any changes to their squad? Who stays? Who leaves? Do we stick with what's working? There's a huge emphasis on English and Australian talent. Do we keep that balance? Do we get rid of that balance? There's a lot to unpack for the next couple of years as to where RCB goes. From, you see, up until now for 18 years, they were always just working towards, let's win our first title, let's win our first title. Where do you go from here? And the reason I ask is that it was similar for Liverpool, right? We hadn't won the league in 30 years. And then when we finally won, there was a little bit of, what next? Where do we go from here? Yes, obviously all the fans want you to continue your domination, want you to continue winning titles and trophies. But it's easy for the fans to express what they want. But it's up to the team sitting at the heart of the club to figure out how to meet the fans' expectations. And Liverpool, after winning the title, did go into 1 or 2 years of rebuilding. They didn't use their transfer windows that well. They did not consolidate or strengthen the squad. There was a legacy of over-loyalty, overextending certain players' stays, etc. So when I ask you this question about who do we keep, who do we get rid of, how do we continue this momentum instead of going back into a rebuilding phase, it comes from the context of a Liverpool supporter, because I do see a lot of parallels, which I had mentioned right at the beginning of the episode as well. So yeah, over to you.
So to answer this question, I would go back to the strengths what had worked for RCB, starting from the management. We signed Andy for 3 seasons. One was 24, the one was 25. We are left with 1 more season. So I would try to extend that contract. Andy, Bobat, and analyst
Freddie.
I would first extend their
Along with DK and everyone else.
with DK.
Yeah.
So I'll try to make it as a 5-year plan with the same core who has worked particularly on this team, building their core, the spine. Once you have a proper spine as a think tank, then Rajat will be our long-term goal.
Long-term captain.
Not because he has won. Even if we didn't win, I'd have still banked on him because he is a player to watch out.
Okay, fair enough.
Then we will try. We have another couple of years with the same team. We have a auction coming up in 27.
Mini.
That's a huge, big auction.
Okay.
So we have 2 years of same team, and if we extend our coaching staff, we have another 2 years. So let's try to plan what's till 27. Then we'll try to plan what's next after that, if we can break it out. So 1 to back your management, 1 to build on the what current Indian core has been building.
Yeah, so the domestic scouting needs to continue the way it is.
Yeah, under the influence of Mo. I wish there are certain loopholes. Sometimes RCB's fielding is pretty gun and sometimes sluggish. That was one of the reason why we lost couple of matches.
Mm-hmm.
We used to drop catches like 3 in a match,
Mm-hmm.
which is a bad number. Other than that, our catching percentage is 84. When we drop the catches, we lose.
Mm.
Catches win the matches. Simple
Right.
rule of the cricket. So I would bring somebody's expertise in fielding. We have all the aspects covered. We have batting coach, batting mentor. We have all the points covered. I don't think we have somebody who's expertise in.
Rupesh, can you please check if RCB have a fielding coach?
So if that slot is left, I'll try to bring the best. When
If
you-
not, if there is someone, then they need to be replaced. Is that what you're... Sorry?
Richard Hansen.
There you go. Some
Yeah.
Richard guy is running the
Yeah.
fielding scene. So are you asking for him to be sacked?
No, I'm not asking him to be sacked, but we have a scope of improvement. When we say scope of improvement, it's a continuous
That's true.
improvement.
That's a good point.
You need to learn from your mistakes and move on. So these are the loopholes, and I think we have a mini auction coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Me as a management, I would not release anyone,
Okay.
even with a Livingston. No.
Mm-hmm.
You bagged Livingston based on this. The only thought process behind keeping Livingston, though he has a bad number in IPLs, when this guy play, he play big.
Mm.
You don't know. It's a
So it's a bit of a Maxwell-like output.
He is beyond Maxwell. Because you see the trajectory. Kings and Punjab RCB. Same trajectory. We just replaced one Maxwell with another Maxwell. It's our hit or
miss.
hit
They're
or
like
miss.
the Freedies.
Yeah. And in
Try the
any
previous,
given day, if he fires, I don't know. I don't want to carry that risk, but still I would keep him because these are the people who can take a match away from any position.
And in all fairness, one bad season cannot define a player.
Yep.
And you also have the likes of Tim David, who missed a lot of the tournament because of the injuries.
their injuries.
They still have to come through and perform for the team. But one thing I would like to ask you, do you see RCB in, like, not ask you if you see it, but do you want RCB in the mini auction or the major window in 2027 to try and sign a spinner? You know, the likes of Sandeep Lamichane, the likes of Adam Zampa, and of course, if possible, Mr. Rashid Khan. My God, if you guys get Rashid, I know he had a bad season, but he also had a pretty significant / major injury. Rashid will come back. Cream will rise to the top, right? That's what we say. We've said this about Babar. We'll say it about Rashid as well. These guys are allowed to go through a slump, but we know that when they bounce back, they'll bounce back hard, right? So keeping that in mind, is there any spinners out? I mean, if Pakistanis played in IPL, that would be great. I would ask you to sign Shadab. But in the current scenario, in the current situation, do you feel the need to add a spinner to the squad?
Since trade is open, we can have one as a backup. If we get somebody's like Zampa or Rashid or as you mentioned, the Nepali spinner, it would
Sandeep.
be great. But I think I still back on my current bowling.
I also really like Rashid Hussain or something from Bangladesh.
Yeah.
He's a 6'2", 6'3". He impressed everyone in the World Cup in India. That's where he started rising to everyone's attention. Coming into everyone's attention. What about, Rishad Hussain. Thank you, Rupesh. Rishad Hussain. He's up and coming, impressing everyone. I also followed him very closely in the PSL where he was playing for Lahore Qalandars. Very impressive. Very good for Bangladesh as well.
I think we should look for a domestic player, the spinner, a proper spinner. Because if you look at my squad, all my 4 slots are booked.
Yeah, but Sharan, if you add another domestic Indian player, you're disrupting the growing curve or the learning curve of Suyash.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying I'll back on this guy, but I'll keep a backup for him. I will already have a Mohit Rathi. I don't know how well he's going to perform. I have a backup. I think I will not make any changes in a spin department. If I get somebody, it will be a backup. But I'll still believe in Suyash. I'll give him a long rope. Let him perform. Let him learn. There will be some mismatches in a game, but he will learn through the game. It's a game time which brings the best out of you. And the curve going to be a bit
Steep.
but you have to go through it.
The only reason I was suggesting people like Lamichane or or even Rashad is because they fit that low budget, potentially high impact profile. That's the only reason I was suggesting them. Rashid does not fill that profile.
Yeah.
Rashid's going to be double figures in crores
You
easy.
can bring somebody from Sri Lanka, the mystery aspect of a spin bowling.
They have so many.
Yeah.
They have so many. But I think their best ones are already taken. Also think I don't understand, this is a bit of a separate point, but don't understand how Hasaranga hasn't set the IPL alight. Hasaranga is a fantastic player. But
Trust me, Hasaranga was the one who replaced Vijayendra Chahal. We went behind Hasaranga and we left a diamond Chahal.
I completely understand the regret that is there. I don't think it's a like for like replacement. I don't think it's even fair to put them one up against another. But that being said, for that 7-8 slot, Hasaranga can bat up the order, he can bat down the order. He's a killer of a spinner. He will really help in pitches like Chipok or Eden Gardens where there's a lot of grip for the spinners. And honestly, every time I've seen him play, he's impressed one and all.
So one more point I need to add, like what are the other aspects? Since we are totally depending on the scouting network, I want somebody who is watching KCA very closely, particularly like a guy called Vijay Bharadwaj who was picked by Delhi Capitals.
For our viewers, KCA is Karnataka Cricket Association.
So Vijay Bharadwaj has a close eye on this, all the local circuit cricket. He was picked by Delhi for doing the same job, and he delivered them a couple of players. So I wish somebody...
No titles to show.
Yeah, that's okay. But
I hope we can sit here and next year and discuss Delhi's rise to the top. I think it'll make Gaurav very happy.
Bharadwaj enters as a scouting guy for RCB who can bring some local lads. There are serious talents for KCA. Trust me when I say this. Abhinav
I don't doubt it.
Suchit, these are some serious cricketers. I wish they play. So,
Now,
not being biased, but I want somebody, because we are playing 7 matches in KCA. There should be somebody who has an expertise in this KCA. You can see how Rahul comes and hits 86 runs and match-winning knock. This is not just a simple thing.
So Sharan, one really important thing that I was waiting for you to touch upon, and I want this to be the last question that we discuss. Virat, if I'm being very frank, I don't think will play for too many more years.
He has a 2 years contract. I think he will definitely play for 2 years.
So when we talk about the things you were talking about, the 5-year plan, till 2027, get at least 3 years secured. And look, with time, it's also possible that yes, Virat has a 2-year contract, but it's also possible that he plays less and less with time. Right? It has been a natural trajectory. We saw this transitory sort of thing with Dhoni, then we saw it with Rohit Sharma and Mumbai Indians pushing himself down the order. This is normal. You have to do it for the team. With Virat leaving, RCB's core leaves. Core as in, when I say the heartbeat of the club leaves. Patidar leaves. Patidar loses his mentor, his anchor. RCB fans lose their centripetal force. So question comes, how does this club, how do people like Patidar, the Hazelwoods, the Krunal Pandyas, the Bhuvis, the Andy Flowers, how do they survive and how do they live on without the man, the legend, Virat Kohli?
That will be big shoes to fill. Rather than trying to fill somebody's shoes, I would trust the process. What made Virat Kohli Virat Kohli? I would still bank on my players. I will give all the facilities what Virat had. I will back like RCB backed the younger Virat. You need to invest long. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So in that process of trusting in players, trusting in Indian core, I would still back whoever the players comes in my next generation, be it a Gill, be it a Jaiswal, be it Nitish Reddy, be it the young Ishwaran, who don't play.
Suryavanshi, man.
Suryavanshi. So these players will be one day near to Virat Kohli or equal to Virat Kohli.
Wow.
There is no
Okay.
fact of denial because these young lads got a huge fire in them. The only thing they can't do is the consistency with Virat Kohli has finished. Rest all they can match those things. So
So you're saying
Not
that they have the potential to match Virat's peak, but the challenge is matching his longevity.
That is his strength. So rather than looking for a like-to-like replacement of I lost a Virat Kohli, I need to get a Virat Kohli. No,
No.
that's not how the sports
No.
work.
Yeah.
Try to work on this particular contract, 2 to 3 years. What are you expecting from the players? Make the role ready. Make him understand what he's playing. You can see.
And slowly start
just-
taking the responsibility from him and taking it upon yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you build a culture. Once the player has a mindset that I'm going nowhere, accepting the same fact, but he is not denying that I'm not playing like take it for granted role, who understands his situation, who understands team's requirement and plays according to the situation. And if whole management is providing this platform for the particular young birds, they're gonna rise. And trust me, the whole Bangalore crowd will back whoever comes in. He may not be a Virat Kohli in day one, but they will being one of the greatest contribution from RCB in upcoming years, for sure.
On that note, Sharon, I would like to ask you one more final question. Sorry, I did say I'd ask you a final question, but one more final question. Next 5 years, how many IPLs are RCB going to win, in your opinion? And try to answer neutrally, not as an RCB fan, if that's possible.
No less than 2.
No less than 2.
It was always a curse. Since we have broken those curse, I think from here onwards and upwards, we're gonna rise.
On that note, the curse is broken. But now comes the real test. Can RCB build a legacy like CSK or Mumbai's? Or will they be a one-season wonder?
Like Rajasthan.
No comments on that note. I would like to thank...
RCB will keep on doing what RCB does. So they're gonna try winning couple more trophies, setting much more brand value, brand of cricket. When you think about IPL, there will be some stages that RCB will be representing cricket in a world-class fan basis with trophies this time.
Well, I hope that vision of yours comes to fruition. There are also 9 other teams trying to do the same, and if rumors are true, there is going to be more teams added, and it's going to become even more tougher to win the IPL. But on that note and on that bold prediction of minimum 2 titles in the next 5 years, I would like to thank everyone for listening to us and for joining us on our episode on RCB. Cricktake is Hassan Ali, Sharan Kumar, and Rupesh Atmuri. We'll speak to you some other day and some other time. Thank you for joining us, and take care.